Hi everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Lisa Shirley, Community Manager for Formula Botanica, and I'm joined by the lovely Suzanne.
Hello, everybody. It's great to be here. Hi, Lisa.
Hi. Now we are here because we get so many questions of people wanting to start their own beauty brand and they're stuck at the beginning stage, middle stage, or somewhere in between. So we just wanted to give you our top 3 tips that we have collected from the community that we think will help you just get started. So we're talking to Suzanne because she is one of our student mentors and she has not only studied with us, but became a student mentor and then started her own brand. So she knows exactly what to do. She has walked the walk and she's put together these top 3 tips for you. So Suzanne, do you want to talk a little bit about your brand and how you got started?
For sure. My brand is called Obloom. It's a brand that focuses on minimalistic hair care products that are eco-friendly. And I started it just almost 2 years ago. Very exciting how time flies when you're having fun.
And I've just popped a link actually to Suzanne's brand if you want to go in there and just take a look. It is absolutely amazing. Check out her shampoo and conditioner bar. It's went viral on Instagram. So how long has it been, sorry, since you had your brand?
So almost 2 years. So in a couple of months, it will be 2 years. And it has been a whirlwind. And that's something I really wanted to share with everybody that's watching is how we can overthink things and we're always feeling a little bit overwhelmed with starting a brand. So this is going to be a quick little topic about 3 tips that I want to share for anybody who's thinking or working towards starting a brand.
Exactly. So number 1, what would you say?
Okay, so number 1, really, really important one, how niche is your product? And this is something that a lot of people don't think about because it's not just enough to have a beautiful body butter or a beautiful anti-aging lotion. You really need to think about who your niche is. What is niche all about? So a niche in the cosmetic industry means basically a part of the market that is sectioned off for a problem that you're going to be fixing in particular. So if you have, for example, anti-aging products, what is it about? What is it about your product, your brand that makes it really niche? So anti-aging, is it vegan, for example? Does it focus on marine products? And it's something that we've talked about in the lab at Formula Botanica, for example. Marine ingredients are beautiful. They're very sustainable. And that's another option, actually, when it comes to niche. Are your products sustainable? Maybe your packaging is sustainable. So you have to think about how to branch out your product and your brand so that it really targets a particular customer. So, for example, I've had a lot of people ask me, okay, so why do you focus on hair products? And for me, that was part of my niche because not enough people are focusing on hair products, but it's not enough just to have a hair product. So for me, it was I had to dig deeper. And in order to come up with my niche, they call it the bicycle spoke. So you take a center idea. For me, it was hair care. And then you start deriving different spokes that come out of it. Okay, what about hair care? Does it focus on a particular hair type? Does it focus on, is it eco-friendly, which was huge for me because I'm an eco-warrior. Does it focus on particular type of ingredients? So you have to really branch out and think of a niche for your product. So don't just launch. And the one thing, Lisa, that really helped me as well was the diploma in beauty business brand management that Formula Botanica offers, because it takes you through all of that so that you realize that before launching your brand, you're not just going to be focusing on the color of your logo and what does my logo look like, but you really want to capture your brand in a niche with everything that you do, with your social media, with your the look of your brand, with the feeling of it, and what it stands for. So that's my first one. How niche is your product?
Amazing. And number 2.
Number 2. So who's your ideal customer? That's something that we don't often think about. And I ask that of a lot of my friends that are on Instagram or Facebook that are also brand owners, because we connect. You know, that's one good thing about Formula Botanica, is that we've been able to put together communities of people that are like-minded, that support each other. For me, I'm part of a group that's in Canada, and we often talk about business in general, you know. So we talk about who is your ideal customer, because for me that was really important to develop. You need to know who your customer is. You shouldn't really just post a photograph or a video of your body butter if you don't know what problem it's going to solve. So what your ideal customer is looking for becomes key. For example, are they looking for something that is unscented, maybe? Or are they looking for something that is not going to be greasy because they have oilier skin? They want something that's light. Maybe your ideal customer is searching online for a body butter that only uses natural derived ingredients, or it doesn't have colorants. So you need to know if your customer is male or female. Maybe somebody's looking for products for babies or for seniors, multitasking products. So all those will reach an ideal customer, and that's what you want in business, not just doing it for everyone. Because if you're trying to reach everyone, you reach no one.
And how did you find your community, or how did you create a community? Like, because you can do it in so many different ways. People create Facebook groups and things like that. But is there anything you did that really worked for you?
Well, for me, it was really important to start local, and that's something that I've talked about as well through my social channels, is focusing on building local communities first, because your friends, your neighbors, your store owners, your supermarket clerks, all of those people are going to be your community if they connect with you. And for me, that's how I started anyway. I started basically knocking on doors, going to different retail stores locally and saying, look, I make these hair products. What do you think? Would you be interested in testing them out or offering them to your clients? And so you slowly start to build trust and recognition locally. So for me, that's what it was about, as well as because I focus on eco-friendly hair products that don't use plastic packaging. I was able to reach out to my environmental group locally, for example. They were amazing that way. I volunteer for them. In turn, at some events, maybe I can have some of my products there, and we're reaching like-minded people. So those types of groups and those types of people that you want to reach out to, people that believe in the same, that align, I guess, with the same things that you're looking for, that you're producing.
Absolutely. And number 3, this is probably the most important one of all, but what would you say is the third thing that someone needs to do?
Oh my goodness, yes. Okay, and I think a lot of people that are thinking of launching a brand will be able to relate to this. Are you ever truly ready? So are you ever 100% ready to launch a brand? And I have to say, you're never going to get there. You're never going to feel like you're 100% ready, because launching a brand, there's a lot to think about. You have to think about your social media, your website. You have to create your beautiful products, do the labels. Is the packaging perfect? So it's a whirlwind of questions and answers that you're constantly thinking about. And in order to launch your brand, you almost have to just do it. Do as Nike says, I guess, and just do it. Because the one thing to keep in mind is that once you launch, you can always change. You can always update your website. You can change your social media bio. You can even change some of the ingredients in your products if you need to. You're going to learn as you go. So don't sweat it. I know it's easier said than done, but I've been there. Trust me, you're never going to feel 100%. So you have to take it in baby steps, and you want to just one step at a time, one baby bite at a time. And remember that you can always modify. So
And we see people doing this all the time, thinking they have to be absolutely perfect to start a brand in whatever area you want to start a brand. But Suzanne is absolutely right. You're never really truly going to be ready, and that's sometimes a good thing. You just need to kind of have a bit of confidence and just get there. And Suzanne mentioned the business beauty brand management earlier. I've linked the link to our courses below. We have award-winning courses that. Sorry, Suzanne.
no, I was going to say that's awesome. I think it's
Oh,
great.
okay, sorry.
And yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
below. So check those out because Suzanne did those. They helped her create her brand. And if you're watching this on the replay, which most of you will be, just drop us a question below and I'll be back with Suzanne and we will answer it for you. Let's put Suzanne to the test and really like give her some questions she can answer about creating her brand, because I'm sure it didn't happen overnight, but once you dedicate to it and just put some hard work into it, just know exactly where you're going, get the right training, it is 100% possible. It feels like yesterday that Suzanne started her brand to me when she shared it in the community, and it's been 2 years. So that is amazing.
I know it's crazy to think about. And the Formula Botanica has been such a great support, the community that we built there. In fact, just last week, we had a session for the students, a support session, because I love how Formula Botanica supports us so much, us brand owners. And one of the support sessions was about pre-launch jitters. And we were talking about all of the different things that we go through. I was bombarded with questions from students about the brand, about website, about community engagement and social media. So those links were super helpful for all of our students who are launching brands and for those who are curious as well. So
Yeah.
by all means, ask your questions.
Well, I have a question from Chris now who says, what was the best and worst advice you received prior to your brand launch?
The best and worst advice?
Yeah.
I honestly don't think there is such a thing as worst advice, because I think that every question that anybody asks you is it gives you an opportunity to really think about things. So for me, even somebody giving me advice on branding, or for example, you have to spend all kinds of money to buy fancy packaging, and if you don't do that, then your brand won't look perfect. Like, those were really overwhelming things that I thought about. But it helped me really realize that the brand that I wanted to launch was about me. I wanted it to make me happy, because I can't launch a brand that I'm not happy with. I'm not launching a brand for somebody else. I'm launching a brand for myself and for people that are like-minded, so for people that believe in what I believe. So I think there is such a thing as overthinking. Actually, a really good piece of advice that somebody did give me is to install Hotjar on my website. I wish I could link it below. Hotjar is something that's free and anybody can add to their website. And it basically sends you a notification whenever somebody is on your website. It records their process. It records where they're clicking through and where they're dropping off, which is super helpful. So that was a really good piece of advice. Yeah.
That is great. That's a good tip. Chris also asks, what advice would you give to a rookie? Well, Chris, the top 3 things we've just covered there, we would probably give to a rookie. But is there an extra thing, Suzanne, you would like to throw out there to anyone who is completely brand new?
So I would need to know brand new at what? Like, are you brand new at having a product or brand new at having a brand, which are very different things? Obviously, if you're new to formulation and if you are curious to learn more and you're not sure about safety of your products and you're not sure what will happen to them if they ship and if they melt, then I would say take it. Number 1 is study a course with Formula Botanica. And I don't want to sound this like a plug or anything. I guess it sort of is, but it's the one thing that really gave me a lot of comfort is knowing that I had the backing to make sure that my products were safe, that were stable, and that we're packaged in the right packaging, all of that kind of stuff. So that would be number one. If you're new at launching a brand, I would say my best advice would be to see what others are doing, follow other brands, look for brands that are your competitors, and then just follow them on their social medias, see how they align, see what kind of engagement they have with their customers, see what people are asking of them. You have to be really, really observant to what others are doing because it helps you learn big time. I hope that
And I'm
helps.
going to say, yeah, that's perfect. I'm going to say we have a Facebook group. It's called Skincare Entrepreneur Mastermind. I think there's about 92,000 people in there, all sharing advice and guidance. Suzanne's in there. I'm in there. So if you're not a member of that Facebook group, I would go and join that because it is invaluable. And you'll find tons of people falling in love with formulation and sharing brand, topics, asking questions, all that kind of thing. So it's a whole host of fun. So I would definitely go and join that. And thank you, Suzanne. I think we're going to wrap it up there, but we will be back. So drop your questions underneath and we will take one of those questions and come back and do another live for you guys. So thanks, Suzanne. It was great.
I'm happy to answer. That was great. Thanks so much for watching.